Hello coders, good morning. It is 7:04. Apologies for being a wee bit late. I had some technical issues this morning with the old computer. It is Tuesday, the 23rd of March, and today we're going to be working on some Symfony sessions, Symfony PHP sessions, and some other bits and pieces too. Just wrapping up the end of this sprint, really. We got lots to play with today, so let's get into the code. So I've, because of the technical issues, I've literally only just, started to spin things up. So give me a couple of minutes. So docker ps-a, let's just make sure, no, I'm in the wrong place. I need to evaluate the shell. Excuse me, I'm a bit croaky this morning. Docker ps-a. There we go, we've got all of them. They've all exited though, apart from, don't know. Oh no, these are Redis and Node and Cypress and tests and stuff. Okay, that's cool. The main ones are this one and this one. Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that. Let's just see if we can actually get something on the screen. So if we go to howtocodewell.local, let's actually get that spun up. That looks like it's kind of behind. Oh no, that's good. Come on. Today would be lovely, thank you. Okay. Okie dokie. So let me grab some water. Wow. Okay, so no, that didn't help. Right. Let's start again. The issues that we're dealing with today are the GitHub error, the error with the email, and the course enrollments. That's what I want to be focusing on today. And this one requires the sessions. So if we go course enrollment here, we can see that session redirect on login and registration. So store current page in the session and redirect after the page to the course page after login. So essentially, I want to have a mechanism to store the page that the user's on. Let me just bring this back up a bit because I think it's coming off the stream. And then after they've logged in, redirect them, back to that page rather than this is your account page, It just sort of sorts the flow out a bit. And then, but before we get to that, because that's an enhancement, before we actually get to this, we've got these two bugs, which is the error on account dashboard after logging in with GitHub. Now this is because this is happening because the subscription plan hasn't been assigned to the new GitHub user, and I had some questions as to what I would do with that. So I wrote this down. Should a new GitHub user need to choose a subscription before logging in? Option 1 is a user creates a free GitHub account via GitHub. Option 2, user selects from the pricing page account type and then logs in. And I came up with the simple answer. Keep it simple, stupid. By default, we should set GitHub accounts to a free subscription plan. For these reasons, we don't have any other plans, so it's basically a non-issue at this present second. And also, we can always offer an upgrade in the future. So this is when someone registers on the site. I'm in the wrong browser. Bear with. Here we go. Someone registers if they do a login here. Not a login. Sorry, a join. Come on. Here we go. And we click on one of these things. Because these aren't being set yet. Actually, no, it is login. Sorry. I already have an account. That's an interesting user journey, isn't it? Because I don't have an account yet, but I want to log in with... I might have to change the wording to this. Say, log in with GitHub or something. Interesting. Yeah. It's this one here. So you click on this. Yeah, so I did it from not going through registration. I did it through login Right, so I want to log in and I want to continue with GitHub. I reckon on the join now there needs to be a continue with GitHub button there too. Okay. But anyway, I'm kind of going down a rabbit hole here. The bug at the moment is that when you continue on with a GitHub user, there isn't an assignment of the account, so you haven't chosen the account type. Whereas when we do a join now, as in I want to register, the first thing you go to is the pricing page, and therefore you select the account types. Now we don't have monthly and we don't have yearly yet, so it is actually technically a non-issue at this stage. But when we do, we're going to have to work around. We're going to have to work with it. So a user can only click on Start Learning to Code here on the free account, because we only have free accounts at the moment. And then they get to registration page. I'm actually thinking now we need to have something else continue with GitHub sort of down here, maybe, I don't know. But that's another issue for another day, I think. But anyway, it's when you log in. So this is happening in, if we go to SRC and we go to, where are we? Security, and then the GitHub account authenticator. Wow, my throat. The GitHub authenticator, and it's in this create user routine. We're creating a user based on the GitHub, on the resource owner that we've got from GitHub. We're setting the user to active. We're dealing with the profiles. We're setting the last login, the username, and we're assigning the GitHub user to the owner, to the resource owner. There's nothing in here about adjusting the subscription plan because it doesn't go through the normal routines. So this is what we need to add to. So we can do this in sort of unit tests, I suppose, because this isn't actually touching the database at this point. So we can call strictly on the create user, passing in a dummy resource owner. So we could do that. First up, though, let's just change the old branch. Let's just clear the screen, make some room, and then do git checkouts. First up, let's do a git pull. Make sure I've got the latest and greatest. Yep, let's do a git checkout -b. We're going to do, this is a fix, so we'll do fixes, and then we'll do GitHub subscription plan. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is write a failing test to prove that it fails, and then we'll fix it. So if we go to tests and we go to unit, we go to security. We're going to add a security. Now, the GitHub itself is tested by the integration test. That's why there isn't a unit test for it. Tut. But it is covered by that. Let's just copy. I'll tell you what. It's in here. It's in the integration in the GitHub Authenticator test. We'll grab that for a second. We'll paste this in here. Yeah, that's good. And then we'll change that to be unit. Okay, so we don't have any of this. We don't have any of this because these are unit tests and not integration tests, so there's no need for any of that jazz. There's no need for any of the before stuff. And there's no need for any of this. We'll just take all of this stuff out. So these are all testing the GitHub Authenticator from the integration, which we still have. It's up in here, but we're working on this file. And what we want to do is we want to call upon this. So this is running off of the GitHub Authenticator. I might have to mock a bunch of stuff, of course. So I may have needed all of that stuff. We'll just work with what we've got. It's okay. So let's do GitHub Authenticator is equal to a new GitHub Authenticator, and that's where I need to put all the mocks. What do I need? I need client registry, router, GitHub user manager, and the user manager, and the session. Wow. All right, let's see if I can just grab all of that from up here. Maybe I should have kept all of this. Although these are concrete classes, I shouldn't be mocking those. Okay, looks like I can't do that. Looks like I'm going to have to just mock them straight, aren't I? So what's that? Because all I want to do is call this GitHub create. That's all I want to call. That's all I want to call at this stage. So let's go and mock this out then. Client registry. I mean, this is smelling like a bit of a code issue, something that needs to be refactored. If I have to do all these mocks just to call this method. But, you know, let's go with it. Let's just roll with it at the moment and see. Client registry. Is equal to this create mock. And what is this client registry? Client registry. I believe it's that. Okay, the next one we're going to mock is the router. Okay, this create mock. I might be able to get away with a router interface. I don't know. Next one after this is the GitHub user manager. Is equal to this create mock GitHub user manager class. Yep. Next one after this. God, there's so many, isn't there? This is ridiculous. Is the user manager. User manager is equal to this create mock. God, it's embarrassing. Class. This to me is highlighting a messy piece of code here, because you've got to question yourself: is creating the user actually the responsibility of the GitHub authenticator? I'm starting to think that it's not. I'm thinking that the GitHub authenticator needs to call something in order to create the user. But anyway, we'll just get this to work. So create mock and then session, and then we'll have a look at maybe refactoring it if we've got a bit of time. So we do client registry, we then do router, and then we do GitHub. When I was a junior dev, I fell over all the time by refactoring things immediately. It was like, it needs to be refactored, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to refactor it now because that's what I need to do. And it's, you know, I don't want to discourage anyone from refactoring, but the thing is, you've got to get the thing done. You know, and then you can. Otherwise, if you just keep altering things, it wasn't. And the thing is, it wasn't actually refactoring. It was restructuring, I should say. It wasn't refactoring. It was restructuring. And I just kept tripping over myself. Okay, so I think they're all mocked now. One thing we do need is a resource owner. Hey, I can't pronounce your name. It's Selectees. Thank you for joining. Hope you're well. We do need a resource owner, right? So this is our the GitHub user resource owner is equal to a new now. It is. Let me just see. It's a resource owner interface, isn't it? Yeah. There we go. That's what I need, the resource owner. Please don't say I need to inject anything in there. No. Okay, so then we pass this into here. We can we'll deal with a bunch of stuff. I'm sure there's stuff in here that is required, right? So if we did create user, there'll be actually no. Well, it's this assigned to existing user. That'll be the thing that is required. Let's just run it with a blank user, right? Let's just see what happens. That'll be interesting. So this here is doing a oh, it's a unhandled except. Okay, that's fine. This should return a user, so we'll check that first. So we'll do user is equal to here. We might not actually even get time to do the session stuff, to be fair, because this is looking a little bit. And we should do an assert instance of user class. That's the expected of user. Now this is probably going to fail because the resource owner is empty. Let's just see if we can. It'll be login and all right. See, this is frustrating. The more I look into this, the more it does need to be refactored. Create user. I just saw that. Create user deals with all of this and then assigns to an existing user and then saves. Which means that we do need to touch the database. Which means that it's not a unit test. It's an integration test. Okay. All right. Let's enough's enough. Let's refactor this. We can't continue this without we've come to a roadblock. We cannot move can't move forward until we've got this sorted. So yeah, we probably won't be doing the sessions today. All right. What I would like to do is think about how this all hangs together. Essentially, I want to have a class and have this method passing in this, and then comes out the user, which is untested, just all the objects hanging together, and then I can check the objects. So it's kind of a manager, like let me have a look. Let me just step through what this does. So we assign to user, GitHub manager, create from resource owner. Create from resource owner does this. So we create the GitHub user, we set to active, profile. Is it this that needs to be checked? I think it's this that needs to be checked. We pass in the owner and a fresh instance of a user. I reckon it's this. There's no saving going on here. It's simply creating, and then it returns the user. It doesn't return the. See, I want it to return. Oh, I see what this is doing. It's building up the owner. It's building up the GitHub user from the user instance. I kind of want to do it the other way around. Rats. I reckon we're gonna just create. Yeah. Let's just create a new thing. Let's create a new thing. So public function, and I'm just. Right. All right. What am I gonna do? Manager. Let's change that to be. Let's just comment all this out. This is GitHub manager now. And it's the user manager. Is equal to a new. I don't even know if this is going to work. GitHub user manager. And we're going to mock the entity manager. Entity manager is equal to this create mock entity manager. Oops. Pass that in as this, and then from the GitHub manager, which is this one, sorry, we're going to create from, see, I want to do create from resource owner, create user. There we go, which will return the user account. Create user from resource owner. That's better. That makes more sense. That does. That does. I'm not sure about the word create though, because does that imply saving? I don't know. Anyways, we still need the resource owner, so that's going in here. That's going into there. And then what we do is we check the, there we go. So we don't need any of this rubbish. Like, there's no need for any of that. We definitely need you. And then we can throw things at the resource owner and then see if that comes out as that. Whoops. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get on the sessions today, unfortunately. Sorry about this. It's just, there's a lot of holes that need to be filled. Security GitHub manager. Thank you for joining, that is such a long word. Emmanuel Trabella. Is that right? Trabella? Thank you for joining. So GitHub Authenticator. We won't test the supports. This is test user instance. All right, now this doesn't exist, so this will fail. Let's do user instance here. So we should be able to jump onto the Docker container, which is here, and do a Docker. Well, I'll actually jump into it, right? So we'll go into bash here. Whoops, bash. No, without the N. That always helps. There we go. And then we'll do a bin code set run unit and -g passing in that. So we'll just run this. This will fail, obviously. Oh, this is because I ran the units, the other tests before the stream. Sorry, hang on a minute. I need to do a eval and then make test clean. There we go. Now run this. So this will fail. Yeah, undefined method. Create user from resource owner. So we can grab you, go into here. No. Go into here. And we want to do a public function. Create user from resource owner. So we're passing in a resource owner interface, and out comes a user. All right. So we need to do user is equal to a new user and return it. Whoops. All right, so that should now pass. And then the next check will be, okay, so now we've got all of this gubbins that we need to assign. So 2 arrays, creating of the, So, yeah. So there's three things going on here. This is why it's confusing. We've got the resource owner, which is the thing that comes from GitHub. We then have our own GitHub entity, GitHub user entity, and we have our own user entity that's joined to the GitHub user. So there's a lot of things going on. So GitHub user is equal to a new GitHub user. I don't know if I need to do that at this stage, do I? It's just this creates, then we do the set. Yeah, no, I think we do, because we can then do user and then, yeah, okay, I think we do. All right, so and then right, I'm gonna throw all this stuff in. Yeah, all of this needs to be. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Don't like it. Don't like it. What we need is another method that creates the GitHub user from the resource owner. And then we need to, yeah, public function, create GitHub user from resource from resource owner. Yeah, let's take a couple of steps back. I think this is right. So this is going to return the GitHub user, and this needs the resource owner. And I think what I'm going to do is call this first. This is going to return. Whoops. This is going to return the GitHub user, and then we have the GitHub user. And then what we do here is we have another method that does it from this point of view, and then maybe a third method that does both of them together. Yeah, okay. In fact, actually, this could call this, couldn't it? So we could do GitHub user. Yeah, that sounds better, doesn't it? GitHub user is equal to this create GitHub user from resource owner. There we go, passing in the owner in here. That would then create the GitHub user, which then we can do the assignment and do the subscription plan stuff down here. So, we're now on a roll. So essentially what I've done is this, but without the user. So, because I want to do the user later. There we go. That makes sense to me. Where are we dealing with the user? Hey, thank you for joining and subscribing, Tyrannid. Thank you very much. 10,000. Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. 16 months, man. That's incredible. Thank you very much. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Where does this... Oh, it's on the set of the email. I gotcha. Okay. Setting of the... Here. But is that the only place the user is actually being used? Yeah. Yeah, it's the email. That's the only place. Okay. All right, let's do some... I don't want to break it, so let's grab this for a second. Whoopsie. And... yeah, let's just paste it back in here. Let's remove this, and let's call this that for a minute. There we go. And let's not deal with anything to do with the user at this point. There we go. Empty data. Yep. Because we can deal with that later on. Data location. Oh, it's just duplicate lines. It just knows that that's the same. And then this returns the GitHub user. So I've just basically decoupled the user from this method here. So now we've got the GitHub user. Now we're creating a new user here off of the back of that. And the thing that we want to check. Let me run this again just to make sure that this is all good. Yeah, yeah. I tell you what. I'll show you something. Which is pretty awesome. If we go back to the actions here, check this out. We have a pipeline. We have our own pipeline. We have our own GitHub pipeline. And also we have, and this is really cool because it's doing on the pre-build checks, it's doing the beautifier, scan, PHP MD, mess detection, code sniffing. Then it's doing caching of dependencies, and I'll have to have a look and see what that's crying about. And then we do the unit tests. So it does gets the composer for the test stuff, and then it does all the unit tests down in here. Woo! And then the next phase after that is done, it does build and push. Now this is awesome. So this builds all of the yarn stuff. So it does yarn install, yarn build. Then it logs into the Docker Hub, and then it does a build of the image, right? So all of that gets built into one huge, awesome Docker image. And then it pushes it to the Docker Hub. Once it's all done, it then pushes it up. So it does a build and push. At this stage, it logs in and then it pushes it up, which means that my deployment script can then take the latest image and then put it onto on the VPS. And we are so close, so close. I have Terraform scripts and Ansible scripts that will handle a lot of stuff to do with the deployments of beta. There's just a couple of things that I need to work through in terms of the database, just getting things sort of rebuilt and backed up and all of that stuff. So it's looking really good. It's yeah, I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with it. I'm a happy dev. And I've learned so much in the last month, I suppose, around Ansible and Terraform. Okay, so we've got the GitHub user here, which is this dude, and have we undefined index login at, oh yeah, so this is because I need to actually put in some stuff into the resource owner, which is this dude here. So we need to do resource owner set, hang on a minute, get email to array. Is there a way I can actually set things to this or not? Maybe not. You pass in the array. That is the response. The response goes in here, and then we grab it from the response. Okay, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. So we pass in an array of stuff. So I think this is login, and I think this is the login name. So we'll do pfwd. Let's just see if we can run it. There'll be other things that'll break, I'm sure. We're only wanting the bare minimum. Must be an int, type of int, but null has been given. So this is the ID. I think this is ID. Let me see. It would be in here. It would be in here. And we're looking for that's login, that's email location. Aha. ID. An ID is... it's not going to tell me, is it? I think... That's not helpful in the slightest. I think it's just ID. I think it's just ID. Yeah, I reckon it's just ID. Okay, so we'll just make one up. What was the type it needed? Was it a string or an int? An int. 1, 2, 3. Let's run this again. Yay, okay, cool. All right, so the thing, so that's that test done, right? The next one is to actually test the bug, which is the subscription plan. So we want to do test subscription plan. Because now we know that we've got the user back. That's cool. What we want to do is say user get subscription plan, get internal name, right? And this we did assert same. There we go. We want to make sure that I think it's free is equal to that. Now this is going to fail miserably because we haven't set up the subscription plan. The whole point of this thing. So let's do that now. But this is what we're doing. We're just writing specs. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. It's is that going to run both of them? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Call to a member function get internal on null. That's because we haven't set this up yet. So let's go and set this up. So in here, what we want to do down here is we want to do user set subscription plan. We want to give it subscription plan. Now, subscription plan is equal to, this is going to be tricky because really this should be coming from the database rather than this. Maybe we should, thinking about it from an architectural point of view, maybe we should pass that in up here, right? So, because in the future we're going to want them to choose the plan, right? Before they do the login. So maybe we do that. So we pass that into there, which means that we can deal with the test. So the test up here would be to pass in the subscription plan at this point. So subscription plan is equal to a new subscription plan, set its internal name. All right, and then let's run that and see. Hopefully that'll pass. No. Create from a resource. No. Oh, it's because I haven't done it there. let's do, whoops, just saw a load of unoptimized imports. Let's get rid of those. Thank you. Let's do a before. And let's put this up in the before here. Saves duplicating code. And the subscription plan as well. And this would be, whoops, this resource owner. Let's create those. So we have our GitHub resource owner here. Like so, and then we've got a subscription plan as well down in here, which now means that I can reference these from the other tests, right? So down here we don't need to recreate each time. We can just do this resource owner and this subscription plan. We can even put in the deal with this as well. That tidies that up. Yeah, that sorts all that out. Hey, Marco. How you doing, buddy? GitHub manager there, and then this goes in here. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so we've got that's going well. Entity manager, so we don't need this. Alright, so that's checking that the instance is correct, and then this is down here checking up on the subscription plan. Woo. Okay, hopefully that'll work. Must not be accessed before okay, why is that? Get internal name. Why set get subscription plan. Why on line 93. On line 93. Is it because thing is it's oh, I see. Yeah, I think I understand. I think it's because this is null. I think. Although we're setting it here, right? So that gets set, so that goes into there. We're not doing any other getting. I don't think. I mean, if we were to comment this out, we'll get rid of it for a second, and then run the tests again. The first one will still pass. So it's only when we get it is this going to fail, which is down in here, and we are making sure that the user gets subscription plan, unless it's not set up correctly. That could always be a thing. set subscription plan, passing in subscription plan. Oh, hang on a minute. Wait, is that the same variable name? That just looks blanked out. What's going on here? Why is that grayed out? Unused parameter. Well, it's used down here. What is going on? Oh, silly me. This is why testing is good, people. I was overriding it. Okay, come on. Why are you being so slow? All right, there we go. Now we've passed. Sweet. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do then. So we've set up the user. We need to deal with the user emails and all that jazz. Yeah. So what we need to do here is we need to do. There was a check, wasn't there, around the user emails. So if, oops, because, oh no, I think I've set the emails to be null, is that right? Yeah, it is null. Yeah, all right, so we can do, from this point, we can do user set email, and I really should do a test for this. Let's back that up. Back it up. Let's go back into here. Let's create a new test. So this is testing test user email. And what we want to do at this stage, this is where it gets tricky because now we've put this in here. Maybe we should not do that. Yeah, I'm wondering if we just don't do that. We put this in for each one. Because this is going to get tricky otherwise, because I'm going to have to change all of these things. Yeah, let's do that. So resource owner. I'll tell you what we could do is a data provider. That would be good. That's what we could do. We could do with that. Anyway, we need to have an email here. So email is equal to, let's do test.testing at howtogowell.net. And we want to make sure that we have the email. So we do test assert same. This is the email address. And we want to make sure that we can pull out from the email. But also, I suppose what we could do, because it gets doubled up, we should also check that that is also on Git. Sorry, it would be user get GitHub user get profile get email. I think that's probably what we should be doing. Let me just run those tests and see. Email. Failed at setting that null is identical to this, and because I've gone and doubled this up, I'm confused. So let me just run that again. Line 81, which was the first one, on get email. That makes sense because I haven't actually set it yet, so let's do that. So we want to do user set email is email is, sorry, It's owner, isn't it? Yeah, owner. It's up here. Data is equal to owner to array, and it is owner email. There we go. Data, sorry. Forgive me. And we haven't done the connection between the GitHub user and the user yet, so we'll need to do that. Okay, undefined index email on line 34. Now, are we calling it something different? No, that looks fine to me. What do we get? Hang on a minute, these two are failing, and that's passing. Oh, wait. Oh, it's okay, it's failing because I'm setting it here and I'm not on the top. That's fine. What we should do is to sort that out. We should do and because it's not a requirement. So if is set owner data, sorry, email. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. So I'm also going to attach the GitHub user to the user as well at this stage. So we'll do it. If we ran the test with say, if we did a test like this, but was just checking, say, the something from the GitHub. So GitHub resource owner. If we were trying to, let's get rid of the U for a second, because I don't want to use email just because it's a bit. GitHub user get profile get. Yeah, let's just do like username or something. So the username would be that. So this is username. So this is going to ensure, and we don't need this. This is going to ensure that the GitHub user is associated correctly with that. Let's oops. Let's run that failing test, and we need to check this as well. User. Let's do set username. Oh no, that's fine. Yep. So if we go back into here, this needs to be, we need to do GitHub user. No, we don't. No, we don't. Sorry, we need to do user set GitHub user is GitHub user. And then we should be able to make that connection. See, this is what I want to do at this stage. I just want to test that the entities are hanging together, rather than test things that have saving routines in them. All right. Now we should also do that check with the email, just to, because now we know that should work. Sweet. Okay, so I think we've covered it. I mean, the big test here was the testing of the subscription plan, and the decision I made was to pass the subscription plan in, because this is going to be the changing factor, right? I think I might refactor this one a little bit more. Create user from resource owner. This just doesn't sound right. Create user from... We are creating the user, but we're not saving the user. And maybe that's okay. I don't know. So how am I going to wire this all up then? Because that's the challenge. Because at the moment we're using this, which isn't what we need. There's nothing else that I needed to do. Let me just run the let me just run all the units tests together. Let's just make sure I haven't. Well, no, I wouldn't have broken anything because nothing is using this. So whatever. All right. So if we go into the actual tests, if we actually get into the authenticator, this is what we want to rewire now. So I basically want to replace this routine. And passing in, I want to replace this routine really. Okay, right. So we need to do all of this stuff. If we want to replace this, we do need to set all this up. So we need to set the active up. We need to set the last login, and we do need to set the username. Assigned, and then that gets the user from here. Yeah. Okay, so we do need to do all this. Never mind. Okay, that's fine. That's all good. We're not ready to plummet back in, so that's fine. Let's test the active flag. So this, we want to make sure that this is assert true of, well, a lot of things really. It's user is active. We also want to make sure, what else was I doing up in this thing? It was a profile. So get profile, make sure that that is active. What else? Contact. There we go. Anything else? No, but I guess we should also check the actual account itself. Let's do that. Okay. All right. So let's run those. Okay, line 112. 112 is this one. Gotcha. So what we need to do at this stage set active is true. Get profile set active is true. And get GitHub user set active is also true. I'm starting to think that this needs to be in its own little method somewhere. Yeah. All right, let's run that. Cool. I'm going to move this because it doesn't look right in here. I'm going to move this to no, okay. Oh, not yet. Okay, not yet. Let's just see what else we need to do before we see. Again, that was my if I was doing this years ago, I would just suddenly jump in and refactor it, but I stopped myself because I want to see what else needs to be changed before I actually do this. Make that. I'll probably make a load of mistakes. If we go into here, what we were doing, we were setting these as active. We were dealing with the last login. There we go. So yeah, let's deal with the last login. So we want to make sure that assert instance of, whoops. We want to make sure that, that this is a date time class, and this is the user get last login. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's expected. So go into here and we want to do user set last, whoops. Login is a new date time. Is that, please tell me that's, yeah, good. Okay. And then after this, there was something else, wasn't there? The username. There we go. And the username was off of the user, wasn't it? Yeah. So let's just double check that's working before we move on. Yep. So the next stage is the username. Haven't I already done the username? I'm sure I've done the username. I have done the username. Let's change this then. Yeah, I've done the username, but for the GitHub user account. So what we could do, now we're actually returning users. There we go. And it's failed. Oh yes, that's because I'm not actually setting it, am I? So this would be down in here, wouldn't it? Be user, because this is a fresh user, isn't it? Set username is equal to data. Is that right? Can I just get it from the resource owner? I don't know. Am I able to, or is it just login? We'll see. Owner. No, it is. It is. Okay, so data and then login. That's looking much better. Okay. Right, now all of that's done. Now we can actually think about moving this to its own little special place. So what are the things that we need? We need the GitHub user, we need the subscription plan, and we need an array of data, which is the resource owner. So there's three things for this to be created. maybe, I mean, it doesn't need to be I mean, that's fine. I mean, we're returning the user. It just looks like, yeah, okay. Maybe I'm being a bit picky. Again, we're moving away from the actual goal of what we wanted to achieve, which was rewiring this. So the create user does all of these things except the assign to existing user, which doesn't work anyway. Well, it does. It's just it's not actually assigning it to an existing user. This is a new user that I have just created. And I think I've done this because there is two ways into this, I believe. There is this one, and then there is this one. So this doesn't actually make any sense. This isn't an existing user, it's a new user that I've just created. So essentially, we've just sort of refactored this logic to deal with this. So when we call create user, what we should be doing is we should be doing this. We should be doing user is equal to this GitHub user manager, and we use the new one that we've just created, which is create user from resource owner. Is it this one? Please tell me it is. Yes, it is, because the other one was the GitHub resource owner. Yeah. So instead of that, we now call this, which is great, which means that that's a method I can remove from here. We also need the subscription plan, so we do need to do a database call in order to get that subscription plan. And then we need to do a save, which is what our assign to la 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 was about. So we do this assign to existing user. We now have the user here. And I think there's something else we need, isn't there? There is the resource owner, which is you, which makes more sense. In fact, I might change that to be save or something rather than assign to existing user, because at the moment this is the part where there is an existing user because we have an email address. This is not an existing user because it doesn't exist yet because I've just created it. So yeah. Anyway, we need to deal with the fact that we don't have a subscription plan here. So what we do need to do is somewhere around here, we need to set that. I guess this is the place for it, I suppose. This is getting of the user, and we're only doing it when the user is new. Right, we're only doing it when the user is new, so at this point here. So this do we have the entity manager at this stage? No, we don't, because it's not injected. We've got a client registry. That's something completely different. We're going to need to inject it into here, aren't we? Just another thing to inject. Yeah, we're going to need to get because what we need is the subscription manager interface, I think. No, the subscription plan repository. What we want to do is this subscription plan repo. Let's just let's pretend that's on this. I'm just putting in some code that doesn't exist, but does exist in my head. So bear with. Var, and this is subscription plan repo, which is the find by. Oh, we've got an external ID. What is? Need to have a look at that. It should be find by internal ID, but whatever. Find by. Find one by. Something like this. So we've got internal name. Something like that. But this is proving to be quite messy. I think we need, because this is in itself its own use case. This is only happens when you don't have when an email address can't be, when the user can't be found. So it's because we're returning here, we're returning there, and we're returning here. So at all of these cases, there is a user that has already been discovered. This is the case where there isn't a user and we want to create one. So this kind of needs to be in its own place, I think. And I reckon we should even go, we should call this create user, in fact. I mean, we're not using that anymore, right? Create user, that doesn't exist. That's dead code. Yeah, it's dead code. So maybe what we should do is push this down into here. Passing in resource owner. We've got the subscription plan from here. We assign to an existing user. Is there anything I need after this in terms of like, no, because we return the user. Aha, so we need to return the user. The user, not the, let me see. Is it which user am I returning? The user interface, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So, create user is returning the user interface. I see. So we could just return this. And if this was better, we would call this save or something. And I want to change that. I don't like create. Ugh. Anyway, so if we go up to here and we change this. User is equal to this create user passing in the resource owner. There we go. That makes more sense in my head, to be fair. So actually, let's do create new user rather than just because there's too many users going around. Create new account. Create a new account. There we go. Okay. Yes. Right, so we need to deal with this thing here. The subscription plan, we need to pass it in somehow. And potentially we could do it through dependency injection. We are passing in a lot of stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things already. So that'll be the 6th thing to inject. I'm not overly happy with that. Just trying to think about trying to think, like, at what point do I need these? And maybe we can hand off some more work to somewhere else. I mean, do we need to have the user manager and the GitHub user manager together? We have the GitHub user manager does the saving and the flushing of the GitHub user. I suppose we do need to save the user, don't we? If there is a new user. And yeah, we do need to deal with the last login and stuff. So yeah, we do need to deal with all that gubbins. So we do need that, and we do need this. We do need the client registry, and my thinking is that these two are so similar, as in the sense of they are like the router interface and the client registry have nothing to do with each other. Whereas the GitHub user manager and the user manager, even though they're working on separate entities, the context here are the same. So what I'm thinking is maybe creating some form of service that puts these together. Yeah, and then inject that. That'd be one less thing to inject, and then I could just do call it manager or something, and then do manager get user manager and manager get GitHub manager. That would make that a little bit cleaner, I think. What's the time? 8:21. Yeah, I'm going to put this down as a sort of a task to do in here, I think. Yeah, I'll do it in here. I'll do it in the same thing. In the same service and inject into the GitHub Authenticator, which is yeah, so we've solved the first issue, which was the, we need to actually assign the subscription plan, but this whole code needs to be really looked at and torn up, I think. Not torn up, but just sort of like, adjusted. The whole thing needs to be, I mean, the flow is fine, but just the logic, not the logic, sorry, just the structure of it needs to be addressed, I think. Because we're doing GitHub user manager save and flush down here, then we're doing user manager save and flush. That really needs to be in one routine, manager save and flush, and then it does GitHub user manager save and flush. Do you see what I mean? There's just no need. There's no need. And I think if I was to have that class, that third class, it would give it more separation, but also the names of things, of the methods, would be nice and consistent. Yeah. Lots to think about. I'm hesitant to do this all now because I've literally got 5 minutes. And it's such a major change. Let me just make sure that those tests still work, right? Because we had some issues there. Let me just run those. And I tell you what, we've gone and we've broken it, haven't we? This is not a clean end to the stream. I think what I'm going to need to do, just to we're going to need to grab that, and I'm going to have to do Control Z a few times. The thing is, I'm working so much on the DevOpsy side of stuff that I can't guarantee that I'm going to get to this tonight. So I want to leave this in a state where I can get to it maybe this weekend, and I know exactly where I am with it. Not have to like, oh, I've broken something, you know. Because usually what I do is when I work on this in the evenings, the first thing I usually do is I run the tests. Oops. Whoa. Right, create user now goes back to this create user. We're going to create a new method in here, and which is the create new account, which I've just pasted. And I'm going to do a to-do replace create user with this method. Yep. I think that's good. And let me just see. Okay, let me test the run test. Let me just make sure that they are. Oops. Let's do this outside. Let's do this outside of the container. Let's just do make tests. There we go. And see what the score is. I don't know. I may have screwed things up with PHP Stan or mess detection or whatever. But it's nice to end the stream with some form of stability, I guess. I won't run all the tests, just the ones that would be affected, I think. Come on. Come on. Please be green. Please be green. No, it's red. Okay, so these two we know about, right? So 203. I might just comment this whole thing out because it's not in use. Although is Stan gonna cry on that undefined variable? Can we do a? I don't like doing this, but just because PHP Stan ignore everything. Okay, so the user manager here, that does need to be fixed. GitHub user is set active on null. And what line is that? 38. Okay, that's because there's a potential that there wouldn't be one. So let we do if user dot get user GitHub is an instance of GitHub user, then we do that. Same with no, that's fine. Oh, hang on a minute. Is that the same? Is that the same same thing here? 9207. Okay. Just ignore it. Please, just ignore it. I've got a minute left. Come on, go green. Please go green. Yay. Okay. So I don't think I've changed anything of the mapping. That should be green. Okay. So now we do the entities. Sorry, we do the unit tests, I think, at this stage, after we've cleared the cache. I don't know why, my machine is running so slow recently. I think Apple have this kind of, this sort of throttle that they have probably on some person's desk, and they just turn it down. Every month they just click it down a notch to make you need to buy another one. Okay. With this, I'm going to shoot off. I've got to continue the rest of the day, but thank you ever so much for watching. Happy coding, everybody, and I'll see you on Sunday when we do our code review for the PHP OOP challenge, which I haven't even spoken about. Rubbish. Code challenges. howtocodewell.net is the place to be. That is the site. I'll put this in the chat. And basically what happens is that every month I do a little challenge for you. This one is a PHP OOP quiz. So question 1 is multiple inheritance supported in PHP? Yes or no? Question 2, explain the difference between a class and an object. Question 3, demonstrate the singleton pattern. Question 4, explain why the singleton pattern is sometimes considered an anti-pattern. Question 5, explain what an abstract class does. Question number 6 is, can an abstract class extend another abstract class? Yes or no? Number 7 is, can a PHP interface extend another interface? Number 8, how many interfaces can a PHP class implement? Number 9, explain when you would use an interface instead of an abstract class. And number 10, the last question, is a question of explaining what the output is of this code here. So if you want to take part, then what you need to do is create a GitHub repository and answer these questions in Markdown. Send your repository link to me on the Code Challenges channel on our Discord server. So if you go to howtocodewell.net/Discord, it's free to join. Click on the join link, and then in the Coding Challenges channel, post your repo link, and then I will review your answers on Twitch this Sunday. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing, and if we've got some time, we'll work through some other bits on this platform, How to Code Well platform. But anyway, thank you ever so much for watching. Happy coding, everyone, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Cheers. Bye bye.